All right, today we're gonna try and knock a little lift out in the front so I don't destroy my inner fender well. And it's by Tough Country. Not my first choice, but that's a long story.
Who's it by, dude?
Tough T-U.
Tough Country.
Fucking F. But I wouldn't recommend going to Les Schwab, but you know, tough times here. So get it wherever you want, but we're gonna try and do it and throw this mother on there.
What are you doing, dude?
Oh, right now I'm locating each and every bolt that we're gonna have to touch and caress and convince to get out of this thing.
AKA taking off the skid plate.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it sound a whole lot cooler.
What size is it?
We're gonna take a 15 and we're gonna zip all these off. Just dump them. I never like to keep it organized that way later. It's a lot harder to just find everything. Alrighty. Buddy, dude. Oh, yeah.
There she is.
Yeehaw.
Make sure to always put your lug nuts in the grass so you can't find them later.
All right, once you're under here, if you're gonna lay like me, all right, here's the trans. To the right of the trans, you got mount number 1. To the left of the trans, you got mount number 2. Scoot yo silly ass upward. There's mount number 4. Boom. Here's mount number 3. You can tell I just went out of order, but those are the 4 mounts. We're gonna drop all those, and then we're gonna do it as so. Court's got it laid out for you.
So we got a little spacer for the front mounts. It's a thicker of the two. So put the thicker mounts up front, or the spacers up front, and then thinner ones go in the back. No.
Yeah, because nobody likes them thin things.
Nah.
Okay.
Alright, we got a pretty sweet little setup here.
Yeah, so you're gonna find out this passenger side gets real tight, and it took us a little bit to figure out our contraption, but we did a nice little socket extension with a nice little wobbly socket.
What size socket is that?
And we got ourselves a 7/8.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not the tightest, but it works.
So rear mount, you're gonna have to use that contraption up through here to hold the top nut and then zip it off on the bottom. Yeah, buddy.
Working on the front too right now. As you can see, that's what the bottom will look like, and then the top will be a bit more like this. Not sure if you can see that, but you know, we found on this side, if you peel this back, wiggle your arm in, then slide your other arm through here, bear hug from this side to this side, it's easy to fit the wrench on the top where you're gonna need to thread it. I wanted to drop the bolts through the top, but there just wasn't enough clearance with the steering arm, so it is what it is. Then we're working on the back too.
Nice.
Sweet tats, dude.
That's on there.
Did you get tattoos just, you know,
Just wanted to fit in, you know?
Same, that's why I did it. Like, everyone's doing it, so it's recently why I picked up smoking cigs.
Alright, so we got this universal torsion bar unloading tool from Sweet O'Reilly's.
Because AutoZone is ass zone. I mean, whatever works. You got, if it's close, it's close.
What are you doing under here, buddy?
Just setting up this unloading tool so that we don't get blasted on by this key that we're going to remove.
So we're removing the torsion bar key to replace the new ones.
Dude, it's so sexy down here too.
Nice. So now that we tapped the torsion bar out through that little hole, we got the key out. And then he's got the new key over here.
Bye.
So now, using the removal tool to help put the tension back onto the torsion bar key.
Yeah, boy.
Noise.
So, finished the torsion bar keys. We got all those wrapped up. The same thing you did on the driver's side is just a repeat on the passenger. Quite easy with the unloading tool. At first I thought it was horse shit, but it does help. Can't do it without it. Now what we did is took the bolt off the bottom of the knuckle, popped it loose with a mallet, have the jack under there. It'll dangle. People get really worried, you know, just watch the tension on your lines. Otherwise you'll be good. But now we're just gonna remove this. We're gonna take each nut and bolt out. We're gonna save the hardware, get rid of that, and then we'll toss in our new arm, which we got right here. Boom. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Oh yeah, and then we get to put in our little limiting straps. Okay, back to square one.
Here's the old and the new.
Popped her out.
Remember to mark your little camber areas. Pop those out. Get a breaker bar for those, because it's a pain in the butt.
Alright, so it looks like we're gonna have to bump these out, slide our new hardware in, gain a couple inches. Wouldn't we all like that? But yeah, that's the next step. Now that we got everything dropped and out, we can start adding the toys. So we'll see you on the tailgate. Alright, next step, going through, they want you to hit the bracket with some clamps and then drill a hole right through here. So we're gonna go ahead and drill on forward.
Made that look easy. So now the hole's drilled, new hardware is in there.
You want to tighten that while I hit the other side?
Yeah, I'll tighten that for you.
Here, got this.
Alright, upper control arm is on. Back to the original camber settings that we had marked earlier. Got the castle nut on there with the cotter pin all twisted. Nice. Got the bracket for
Limiting strap, and then the shock goes next. We're just gonna
we had to pound the bolts out of the top, the OEM bolts, and then put that little bracket in there with the new bolts, new hardware.
So now we're gonna slide this sucker in and kind of knock out the next few steps.
Nice. All right, so this is what it all looks like all put together. Upper control arm is on. All the camber settings are how they're supposed to be, how they were before, that is. Shock spacers on, new hardware. Limiting strap is on with that new bracket that we drilled and put a bolt through. Limiting strap has a spacer down at the bottom of the shock bracket that you got to put on using the same hardware that your truck had before. And then these come pre-lubed, they say, but we'll probably hit a grease gun on those Zerk fittings later on. and then just repeat for the next side. Make sure everything's tight.
Just finished. Don't know I'm filming the rear. Didn't do anything back there, but here we are. I've got about a 10.5-inch wheel gap now with the Tough Country 3.5 lift. I started at 9.25. I'm pretty satisfied. I think once I trim the bump stops a little bit, I can get a comfortable 11, maybe without trimming, but the limiting straps do their great job. I got it all the way up to 12, but that was just too much. Overall, pretty happy. The install wasn't too bad, just first time on this truck with that kit, so it took us a little longer. Had to get a couple parts, tools if you will, and overall very pleased. Very minor rubbing with the rim and tire setup now. I went from trash back here to looking pretty good. I'm gonna have a little plastic and a little metal behind the plastic, but other than that, doing well. So overall pleased, overall very pleased, and can't wait to see where this thing goes from here. Take it easy, guys.